All right, this is from a kind of dark period which I was going through in the last year. It's called Nothing to Say. Nothing comforts like vodka, hugging ice cubes inside a supersized cup. Nothing comes close to feeling nothing more than inebriation. Nothing is the numbness I feel when my soul is displaced by demoralization. Nothing is the dumbness I absorb from my surroundings, leading me astray. Nothing is what I have to say about my family virtues, issues abounding to this day. Nothing I can say or do will make my problems go away, back then or in the here and now. Nothing is what I feel after exerting enormous effort to make things right. Nothing is what I get after the guilt trips and abuse, trying to help the helpless. Nothing hurts so much as trying to make something out of nothing, never reciprocated. I'm just going to go right through with this bleak theme, all from the same sort of period. It's called Calling. I keep calling, but still you don't answer. I keep wondering about your existence. I keep myself in the dark for the sake of self-preservation. I keep imagining the worst, only to find something worse. I keep thinking about you and what I'll say if you reply. I keep suppressing my feelings, except in my keyboard excursions. I keep expressing myself to affirm I'm still alive and I will survive. I still am in the process of answering your question, why are you crying? I wrote this the other night. I don't know. This is pretty fresh. Very short. It's called Breakthrough. I await the tide of imagination to break through the levee of immutability, seeking a new level. Its glistening wellspring trickling downstream, sculpting lush, fertile glens, flourishing in the noon light. Meandering creek bed, snaking its way across the deepening valley, fueled by the overflow. It roads all monoliths of dormant permanence, weathering visible in time-lapse photographs, depicting the universal process observed by Heraclitus. All is flux, nothing stays still. I guess, this is called Escape. Hounded by my past, I am driven by an insatiable desire to clear my name, to explain myself, having had little choice up until now, to do so fully, finally prepared to face my accusers, and willing to accept responsibility if given a hearing. Weary from struggling uphill, I hear dogs barking in the distance, hot on my trail, my gasps falling irregularly between palpitating heartbeats. Howling and swirling, the most onerous of companions, a biting wind rustles the trees I look down upon across the abyss. The gusts whip directly through me, drying my eyes now burning, like my chapped cheeks and cracked lips, making the trek ever more arduous, draining my waning endurance. The path before me narrows. Left is the craggy chasm below, from which I climbed. To the right, the path continues, turning up sharply, clockwise, forbidding, if not impassable. Inching forward to get a better view, I realize escape is impossible. Looking ahead, there is nothing but sky between where I stand and peaks in the distance. Looking behind, there was nothing to go back to, even if I survived. The rocks below beckon, knowing running away presumes my guilt. Walking a winding gravel plank on the verge of falling from a precipice, I teeter-totter from vertigo, the drop down dawning, defying me to go forward. I must make a leap of faith around the blind corner, hanging while leaning in, hoping to maintain my balance if there is a landing on the other side. Fully aware I'm only assuming the path doesn't end here, as I hear the clamor of angry voices approaching in the background. 1. I take a deep breath in. 2. I exhale, gathering myself to face judgment. 3. I spring, desperately hoping to grasp an opening in the mountainside, a foothold to cling on to. I blink for an eternity as time stands still, refusing to tell any of its secrets. Then my shutters open wide. Looking behind, a once ominous mountain of shame no longer threatens. The path from which I arrived vanishing. Nothing is chasing me anymore. Looking ahead, the rocky incriminations recede into the background. The tired shoulders of memory bear no weight as my head floats among the clouds, unattached to the material world. No longer running, I am certain Providence to pass judgment, affirming my innocence and integrity. Once the courage to let go emerged, I got caught up in the wind of salvation that is yet to let me down. All right, there's 2 more. This is this dark place again. It's called Song of Sorrow. At no point did I anticipate a happy ending. Our flight from intimacy, never ending from birth until imminent death. At some point it was evident we weren't meant to be happy with each other, despite our shared history of rudimentary abandonment. At one point, I dreamed our common lacks could compensate for neglected needs, and we could share with each other without blame, without bitterness, to complete the family circle. At this point, I'm convinced I'm not to blame. I tried and tried, and tried and tried, and tried more and more, to bring about a resolution I could live with and fail. This last poem is called Unconscious Discovery. Delivered from womb into a tomb, clawing and crawling, so many years in darkness, Plato's cavernous slave. Tethered first umbilically, limiting chains now have fallen to the wayside, after a life sentence to Hades stayed. Reflecting back on the first steps toward illumination, callow eyes, unaccustomed to brightness, faltered in the mirror. Faced with a halting reflection, a fledgling self seeking persuasion, found evidence of worth wanting, as doubt reappeared. Abandoned by confidence, searching for an internal compass, an impoverished development provided only false leads, insecurity. Confronted with novelty, ingrained defenses sprung up, held fast, affronted by change and explorations into uncharted territory. The battle within is not retreating. Marshaling forces confront habits of old, not worth repeating, reversing the tides of forever. Faith plunges in, swimming upstream, traversing the current, perceptions uncertain, and treat the past to recede, ease pressure. Lofty atmospheres bring novel breath, taking inspiration further. Further and further, winds of change howl into a sandstorm, blowing detritus aside, uncovering treasures unweathered, buried beneath in a sacred crypt, unearthed to inform. I bear my torch, shining light into the darkness. This magic wand transforms. Shadows on the wall are given new meaning. These dark, ill-defined impressions impressions, masks of reality, I now see beyond. With awakened eyes, I look around, hear not a sound, and realize I must be dreaming.